On today's episode, we discuss seminar snipers.
The gayest thing I've ever done.
Standing behind me. We dive into Masters Worlds and Checkmat placings.
We talked to Eric Shasha from Roay.
And we have one listener question.
One listener question. Take your shirt off, knock out some push-ups. Let's get a chest pump.
We're live, buddy.
We are live.
Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live at Checkmat Murrieta.
The home that Poncho built. He's saying, go ahead, podcast there. Give it up. I just finished teaching 6 a.m. on Labor Day. So we're getting this one done on a holiday.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So if you hear any noise, that's literally
The gym.
Yeah, that's people jiu-jitsuing.
So sorry about that, but it's also an authentic feel. You're getting like a real open mat type feel here between us. And before we get started, I want to bring up those shorts, Kenny. Those shorts are mighty short.
They are 5-inch inseam?
Those are not 5 inches. That is not 5 inches. They're like 2-inch inseam shorts. This guy's wearing a Shoney Carter Speedo right now.
I am tucked as high as one can tuck.
This brings up the story of the gayest thing I've ever done. Have I brought that up on the podcast?
I don't think so. These shorts are not the gayest thing I've ever done, by the way.
No, this reminded me of the gayest thing I've ever done. The gayest thing I've ever done is I went over to my boy's house and girls were there. They were like, we're swimming. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're swimming? He's like, get some trunks. I was like, I don't got any trunks. He's like, I got trunks in the bathroom. Go to the mom. I'm like, say less. I went in there, looked at the trunks. These things are still damp.
Oh, you have vision.
And and it had the little netting, the little netting in them. They weren't like free board shorts. They had like the netting. So your boy went in there and put some other damp net on my bag. and
just absorb some other man's juices. You're just marinating.
And of course, I knocked out like 55 push-ups in the bathroom in these because there's because there's girls in the pool, right? So I had to like knock out these push-ups. So I crank out these fucking push-ups, pow, 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 pow.
Just getting a good pump on. Are you doing the shorties
so
too?
I'm getting a pump. I'm putting my bag on his floor. I'm in his damp bag, and then I go and I try to pick up on some hefty fours. You know what I mean? But it's all good, dude. It's memories. I also learned how to hypnotize this weekend on the internet.
Has it worked?
Did you know by the snap of my fingers, you'll never know you were gay?
Do I know you're gay still, though?
See, it works. You don't know. Do you remember?
Jesus. This guy's a magician. you came here for jiu-jitsu and laughter.
I saw that.
You left with magic, folks.
I saw that on the internet, so it's got to be true. So let's get into it. Let's get into the doc. So, how was your week? Any good rolls? Have you been rolling? I know your knee's been kind of jacked up.
Yeah. I got a mother's milk number 2. We're just gonna go ahead and add that to the repertoire of things I do now, because it's successful and I'm enjoying it.
You got 2 tits, 2 milks.
Yeah. Well,
you know where the third milk comes?
that's father's milk.
That's father's milk. But no, they have another. You're just smother tapping dudes.
Yeah,
you are who you hang out with.
Yeah, man. I know. You are the sum of the 5 closest people to you. So
yeah, that's
my wife and Matt and oh boy,
been begging for my wife to smother tap me for a hot second, dude. Not happening, dude. Trouble. I would be missing more 6 a.m.s. I'll tell you that if she was.
How's the bag recovery?
Bag recovery, we're good, dude. Equipment is good. Everything's firing on all cylinders.
Are you through your 31 yet?
Nope, definitely not.
Are you at the halfway mark?
We're halfway.
Okay.
We're halfway there. Living on a prayer. Speaking of injuries, not related to the bag, I kind of want to talk about seminar snipers.
Okay.
And Craig Jones, everybody's probably seen it because everybody follows Craig Jones. He's the most popular guy in jiu-jitsu. He posted something that said he sometimes goes to seminars and sometimes the guys don't even want to learn. They're there to make a name for themselves for their local gym or their local community and to be the one to tap Craig Jones.
Which is wild. Like I get it. I get there's like an ego thing there, but the absolute disrespect of that is insane to me.
Imagine being the 20th dude in a Craig Jones round,
Yeah.
and then freaking marking out over a sub.
Yeah. You know, I feel like if I were there, I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm a 41-year-old blue belt. I'm not going to try and kill you. Please don't break my leg. Just.
I remember rolling with Shasha as a purple, and as a purple, I was like, I was going hard, but like I was afraid to go too hard because I didn't know, because I knew it was a seminar,
Right.
and I didn't know what the rules were. So it's like, even though he had all the, any way he wanted to go, it's going. But I didn't know. So I felt, even in my role as a purple belt, I felt hesitant to like, I didn't want to like make him mad by doing something stupid.
Okay.
But now I guess guys are just out there challenging it. And there's a video of Craig Jones snapping some dude's leg because he wanted to find out. The guy was like, yeah, they really don't want to learn anymore. They kind of just want to roll with you. That's what the instructor said.
That's wild. Fuck around and find out, though.
Fuck around and find out. Someone posted a video of that. I'll have to find it, but Craig Jones posted it. It's hilarious. I just don't know the etiquette of a seminar is, you know, sometimes the guy's hurt. You don't know what the guy... What does Craig Jones have to prove? He's one of the best grapplers on the planet.
Right.
Why are we... I don't know. I get, like, you want to say you tap somebody, right? Like, I've rolled with UFC fighters and I've submitted UFC fighters. It's always cool to say, like, oh yeah, I've tapped him out. But obviously, also, we're not fighting.
Right.
He's not throwing hands either.
Right.
So a tap out in a gym means nothing. Period. If you tap somebody out in the gym, it means nothing. Like, outside of the gym.
Right. Yeah. I was say put it in your, you know, commit it to memory. It's a memory for you, but
bragging, because you don't know,
yeah.
that guy's working on something. That guy's hurt. That guy's saying,
Right.
I'm trying to develop a new part of my game. We don't know what the guy's trying to do. So, you know, trying to make a name on a legit competitor.
well, think
is
about you as a black belt when you roll with lower belts. Like, you're not giving it 100% your all. You know what I mean? Like, you might be in the mindset of, I'm hitting this with an armbar today.
Right.
So you're passing other submissions just because you're working towards an armbar. You know, so it's just like you know, hypothetically, if somebody were to actually tap you, then they don't know, unless you mention like, hey, I'm only hitting arm bars ahead of time. You know, they don't know that they're actually not getting 100% mat. And if you say it after the fact, then it's like, oh, you're making an excuse. But
right. I feel like these guys are doing you a service. Obviously, it's how they make income. Especially an athlete later on in his career where he's not competing no more. Seminars, merchandise, that's how they get off. So if you're going to try to hurt somebody, like, you're going to, like, and especially someone like Craig Jones, you're obviously there because you like leg game.
right.
So you're attacking his legs, you're playing that game with Craig Jones, you're going to lose, first of all. Secondly, that's crazy to me. Like you're not respecting the art, you're not respecting the person ahead of you. Like,
Right. Not to mention, Craig's a fucking wild man as well. So
I would not, like,
to think that he's not going to break your leg if you're being a dick.
I'm not going to rip a heel hook on anybody.
Right.
That's not in a competition.
Right.
Or fight.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get to it, I let it go. Like, what's the sense of making it like, these guys all got to work tomorrow or teach or whatever.
Right.
So I thought that was like a pretty crazy topic to see that seminar. A lot of other people like jiu-jitsu, all these guys have talked about it. So I thought we would kind of address it a little bit.
Yeah, that's an insane fucking, just to even think about that somebody would go to a seminar and with the intention of fucking up the guy teaching it.
Master Worlds, Kenny.
Yeah, that happened this weekend. Actually, it's the Sunday after Master Worlds.
And Mighty Mouse just cements his legendary status as like a purist of a martial arts.
Dude, I know. What a fucking a champion for the sport that we didn't know we needed.
How can he not be your favorite jiu-jitsu fighter?
Right.
Like, seriously. Like, he's not the best gi jiu-jitsu guy in the world. Not even close.
But he's all in on it.
He
Doesn't give a fuck about anything else right now.
He's a voice piece for Brazilian jiu-jitsu, gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
From a no-gi MMA background. What do you need, Brett? You got something here? You want to grab this bag right now? You want to grab? Hold on, I'll get it for you, brother. Here we go. I got you. We are live So yeah, he's a voice piece for gi jiu-jitsu. Like he beats this guy, and then he goes to him and he says, "Hey, it's gonna be okay now."
It starts on the mat,
Right.
and then the dude walked away and was just slowly breaking down, and he tracked him down again.
And he's like, "This is not everything. This is not life and death and blah blah blah." Which to this, I have a couple takes. Obviously, he allowed him to be on video, which is cool.
Right.
Was Demetrius Johnson doing this for a little bit of clout? Maybe, but it was still, the gesture was still genuine.
I think he's that guy.
I do also. It was genuine, and he said jiu-jitsu is not the world. Well, this guy doesn't seem like he speaks English that he rolled with, so he must have traveled. So maybe jiu-jitsu is life for this guy.
Right.
You're not crying at the black belt level if this is not life. It's not important to him.
Right.
So I mean, I get what Mighty Mouse is saying. Not to him. Mighty Mouse is the greatest fighter, arguably, who ever lived.
Right.
Pound for pound, right? And maybe it's not life. Jiu-jitsu is just a hobby for him. But to that guy he beat, it looked like it was more of like, it was a serious thing to him. And that's why he was so upset, especially at the black belt level. I've seen white belts cry and blue belts cry. But like, you crying after you lose that black belt, it's because of something, right? Maybe he had a dedication to somebody or whatever. So I do love what DJ said. I thought it was beautifully done, and it was a great example for what this sport is. But I think that maybe it probably was a little more important than DJ had made allotted to the guy.
Do you think that he's the antithesis of the no-gi jiu-jitsu drama that we're seeing between like B Team and New Wave and all that? You know what I mean? Like how they're just going hard on each other with the memes and the shit talk and all that. And then you've got DJ on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, just being, you know, champion mindset, you know, like, brother, it's okay, you know, just trying to comfort the people that, and that was a respect thing, you know what I mean? Like he respected that guy for going to war with him, and you know, and has probably, you know, been in that situation, not maybe in a jiu-jitsu competition, but in MMA and whatnot. I'm sure in his coming up years, like there was losses that he has, you know, back in the day that, you know, hurt, and but you grow from those.
I think it's a MMA version of like GSP versus like a Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
There's two different ways you can approach it.
Right.
You can treat it as a martial artist and a purist and like bow and respect and honorable, or you can be a mouthpiece and go viral and do it the Craig Jones wild way.
Right.
There's two different ways to go. Obviously, the Craig Jones, Conor McGregor, the mouthpiece, that's the way to go.
For the money.
For the money.
Yeah.
But like when you see a purist just being a martial artist and it's a genuinely good person, which I would say 99% of professors are this way, that I've come across. Now there are douchebags. There's douchebags. But like 99% of professors, like that, they're like Demetrius Johnson. They're going to be there for you, stoic, all about the art, respect. They've lost a bunch. They've won a bunch. They're just there to help you get better. So like when Demetrius Johnson decides to like not compete anymore, I can see this guy being a great coach, a great professor.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought it was probably the highlight of Master Worlds.
Yeah. Aside from Checkmat.
Aside from the Checkmat girls, especially.
I know.
We got a couple guys win gold, a couple guys win black belt. Congrats. But the Checkmat girls at Checkmat Murrieta absolutely dominate.
There was two blue belts, different weight classes that took gold.
Nobody was one and done. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Everybody was in, everybody was collecting medals, everybody was getting after it.
And then they did absolute, and they both podium there as well.
You know, we got Maria, she's dominant, and then we had Kat, who's La Malavita girl. She freaking does her thing all the time.
Yeah, so she wins it.
She's a young phenom.
Yeah.
But that just goes, shout out to the professors, you know, Poncho, and shout out to the women's class. Then the professors there, Ashley Yoder and JoJo Scott, all them. These girls are good. So if you're in the IE area and you're looking to become a high level jiu-jitsu girl, this is the place to be.
100%.
That'd be my number one recommendation. And you're like, oh, they only got one class a week. It's a 9 a.m. girls class. Yes, it's true on paper, but these girls, they're cliquey. They snipe other classes. They all get together in a group chat like, hey, we're all going to storm Matt's class. Oh, we're all going to storm Phil's class.
Right.
And they all pick, and it's like it's a really, really tight unit. So just congrats to the Checkmat girls from Murrieta, just dominating this weekend. I feel like every time I open my Instagram, one of them was like, so-and-so won, so-and-so won.
Right.
It's crazy.
Oh, you know what? We've talked about him on the pod before. Somebody was helping me with my weight progress. Mr. O'Rourke, Grizz out of Arizona, tattoo artist.
Oh.
He took second purple belt at Worlds. Masters 3, I believe, ultra heavy.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats on that. And this is first because he won last year, I think, at blue and promoted on podium to purple last year. So this is his first shot at it, and he took second place. So congrats on that. Second place. That's dope.
That is crazy. It was a huge event. It was crazy not seeing Poncho or Hanato competing. They usually compete.
Right.
It shows how injuries can affect anything, right? So a lot of DMs saying, where were you? Are you here? Or are you coming? I was like, I'm not there.
Right.
We weren't there.
I don't get the jiu-jitsu con thing. It's a separate event.
Yeah, because it's not masters, right? So they do an adults.
Okay.
So like they have a separate event for like the ones without the knee injuries and the ones that can get erect for no reason. Because that's not me. When your boy,
that's a good way to describe fucking master or non-masters competitors.
Yeah. Like,
you can still get hard without.
That's just sitting there. Like, what's happening down here? I have no idea. Fucking, I don't know what's going on. Me. There's a purpose. It's like every move I do in jiu-jitsu, there's a reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just going to be like,
if I'm getting a boner, it's not going to waste.
My gi just doesn't come on unless I'm ready to roll. You know what I mean? Like it's not just laying there and all of a sudden like, what the fuck?
Just roll over.
Why? I guess I want to do this. No, it's like, I want to do this. Where's my bag? No pun intended.
Just got off the couch and my gi was on. I don't get it.
So what's on the agenda this week for training? And now I want to know in the comments also, are you guys Labor Day rolling? Is there open mat on your Labor Day? I want you to tag us in your photos from yesterday, because this will be played tomorrow, and at BJJ Balance, # Labor Day rolls. And that's what I want you guys to tag us and post it, and we'll reshare it.
A lot of gyms closed. And a lot of people were shocked that Checkmat Murrieta was going to be open.
Well, I mean, I don't know what we're doing the rest of the day, but 6 a.m., Team No Sleep, we just, look at, I don't sleep, okay? I'm up. I'm going to be out for there. Hey, you want to roll? I'm in. Hey, Matt, you want to get a piece of chocolate cake? I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, just send me a text. Your boy's in. Hey, Matt, what are you doing right now? Probably scheduling content.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go
get some cake?
Egg some cars? Sure. Why not?
He's open to the idea, folks.
Just some big guy just fucking
send Matt 5 a.m. like random questions of, do you want to do this?
And I'll be like, pick me up.
We got somebody that we wanted to bring on and talk a little bit about his business.
And we think his business could be beneficial for you if you're opening up a gym, or I think any kind of small business.
Yeah.
Eric, come on over. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. We'll insert Price is Right music right here.
What do you want?
Right here. Skiing, baby. You could put your hand wherever you want, bro. I'm clipped.
Oh, I heard this.
There you go. We're going to right here.
Talk.
Like you love it.
Yeah, right into the top.
Like I love
Two
it.
hands is
There you go.
Two hands is a
Two
bad
hand-
look. That's a
two-
bad look. That's a bad look. That's a bad look.
Twist it.
One hand.
Yeah. If you're talking like this the whole time, it's gonna be problems.
Yeah, that's a bad look. And a lot of guys that follow me will Photoshop that. And then you
Perfect.
don't want that.
It's just gonna be a purple fucking.
This is a friend of mine and good buddy, Eric Shasha from Roay, the founder, correct?
Yes.
And Roay is a company that helps jiu-jitsu companies or pretty much any small business. It helps them with what? What does Roay help them with?
Well, we are in the jiu-jitsu vertical, even though we do sometimes do custom software for other types of companies. But mainly we started, well, I built it for our gym originally, right? And our focus is that jiu-jitsu athletes all over the world, there's no money in it, or so they think. And what I wanted to do was show the industry and show the athletes that there are ways to support them through some of the revenue that's driven that nobody sees, right? So the big secret is that the gym management systems make thousands of dollars a month on every single gym. And the gyms, it's typically their second biggest expense. So we put together this system that passes a small fee on to the customer, which covers all of the gym's credit card processing expenses. So on average, we're saving each gym anywhere between $700 and $1,000 a month right off the bat. On top of that, we created a gym management system to wrap around the payment processing, and that saves them an additional $100 to $200 a month. So when you're looking at it all in, let's say on average, $950, $1,000 a month for a small gym is huge. On the other end of it, 10% of all of our revenue goes toward helping disadvantaged jiu-jitsu athletes, period. So, and that's before expenses, 10% of our gross revenue. So that's allowed us to, I believe we have five athletes now that we're sponsoring. And then also we're creating jobs for them. So some of the guys were working bar jobs, driving Ubers to make ends meet. Now they have a book of business where they sold this to gyms, and this is a salary for them every single month recurring. So they're creating a job and an opportunity for themselves, maybe even after jiu-jitsu. So it's been a wild ride. 250 gyms and counting. We're getting new gyms every week, new athletes coming on board. We're 100% distributed by athletes and gyms. And all that revenue just flows back to helping sponsor and get people on the mats and helping them train more and more and more.
I think it's really refreshing because being in this game for 15 years, you meet these guys who come over on visas and they come over and they're not citizens yet. And they're generally just trying to better themselves and they're trying to better their situation. That's why they're here. I'm sure if it was great in Brazil, they would have stayed there because that's their home.
Yeah.
But they're coming here because they want to make something better of themselves. And I think it's really, really, it's a beautiful thing to see when you see a company like yours come in and try to, you're helping, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's what they need. We see a lot of times, oh yeah, my professor, you know, I've seen people buy professors' cars. I've seen people do it out of their own pocket. You have created a system that helps them. 10% of it just helps them. Does the little things that you see every once in a while in your gym. It does that on more regular basis. And I think that's just refreshing and very nice to see.
And that's what we saw. I mean, when I first started, when I was a white belt, I walk into a gym and there's a kid sleeping there from Brazil. You know, they come here to train, to become world champions, and they literally live in a space in the gym. And that's when I asked Poncho, I said, hey, what can we do about this? You know, how can we make their lives better? And then that's Roay kind of came out of that conversation because they do need help, right? Living, what does that world champion look like with 4 square meals and a roof over their head?
Right.
Right.
You know? So it's been a wild ride.
I mean, it's awesome. So like, where can they, give the name of the company, where they can look it up, give all the details.
Sure. So rollpay.co, rollpay.co is our website. You can go there, take a look. If you're going to register, do rollpay.co/OSS, and you'll get a free machine when you sign up. If you come through the referral code for you guys.
Sounds great. So while we have you here, we're gonna get into. I got a question last night late, and how old are you, Eric?
46.
Close enough. Okay. And I'm a master's too, and you're master's also, Kenny. But those shorts, man, I still can't. Okay.
I'll pull the ball out if you want.
Harding 37 sent me a question. How many hours on a mat a week for a 50-year-old? How do you?
I'm a bad person to ask that question.
Like risk versus reward when it comes to training, right? Being an older grappler, fairly new into jiu-jitsu, you have a wrestling background and when you're younger years, but like getting back into it, jeopardizing injury risk versus mental health of rolling. How do you manage that?
Lift weights. That keeps you bulletproof from injury, I think. But 2 hours a day, I roll like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Right.
My man gets after it.
I do. But I love it. I'm obsessed, and I lift to support it. But I think as an older athlete, you gotta lift. If you don't lift, you're gonna get hurt. Your back's gonna go, hamstrings,
There's
whatever.
more. You gotta oil the machine.
Yeah. I have an extremely patient wife, and she supports everything I do. So I could get up, lift, go to jiu-jitsu for a couple hours. You know what I mean?
I think being a master athlete, having a good significant other is.
You got it.
You have to.
You have to.
I think when it comes to jiu-jitsu, I think 2 days a week basically keeps you at a baseline, but you're not really going to grow. I think 3 days a week is where you start to see growth, and anything past there, you're just seeing faster growth.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for mobility as far as like stretching or like?
No.
Mobility. Jiu-jitsu is like they stretch you. We'll make you mobile.
Yeah, I mean, also being masters, we have the blessing of having careers and money. And I think the biggest cheat code for jiu-jitsu is taking a private lesson once or twice a month or three. I go once a week, right? But that will really just take you to the next level.
Yeah, I agree. Private lessons is huge.
Yeah.
It's
cheat
huge.
Code. It's a cheat code.
It is a cheat code. It is a little more pricey, but it's worth it. If you love the sport and you want to grow fast, there's nothing better to it.
Sure.
What is your biggest pet peeve in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Something that someone does. What is something that someone does that just annoys you?
Oh, the tater when they put their fist in the middle of your back.
Hey,
That's no fun.
that's no fun.
Or maybe guys that in the training room, you get an elbow in your mouth once in a while when somebody's doing a bread cut or stuff like that. I don't enjoy that very much. I try not to do that to my partners. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, you just kind of gravitate.
It's a combat.
You kind of gravitate to those people that you want to roll with every day, and they don't do those things that annoy you.
And I think you got to justify it's a difference between classes, right? Like a comp class, you're going to expect more damage rather than you come to like a 9 a.m. Or just like a drilling class or fundamentals class. You're not expecting elbows.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. But you get them?
You show up at 11 o'clock and you go to mat number 1 over here.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting
shit's
smoked.
going down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get smacked. But, if you protect your body and you train, you're going to fall back on your training and you'll be good.
Yep. Got anything, Kenny?
Guard pullers.
We hate them.
The reason is if I'm working on takedowns and let's say I get a collar tie, I get wrist control, and then they immediately pull the guard. I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm like, I'm just getting started.
I was YouTubing this fucking move for like 4 hours. I want to use this, and you just pulling on me.
Yeah, I got all excited. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm set up. And then, boom, pulls the guard.
The key to not finding a guard puller is find heavier guys in your class because they don't want to pull guard. So if you're going to go to a smaller guy, they're going to pull. There's some all-world guys who are small, could just do everything. But like if you want to work on your takedowns, do it on a big guy. Plus, if you do it on a big guy, you'll be able to do it on the small guy.
That's true.
So, I mean, there's where your guard pullers won't go. Washing the belt. What about you? You wash your belt?
No.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If it goes in the washing machine by accident, that's the only time.
I've had that happen.
And that's her fault.
No.
The damn wife's fault.
Oh, I don't let her near my geese. Kidding me?
Why are my keys in a dryer?
Looks like I'm getting all new geese this week.
Well, looks like it's time for a new gi.
Right off.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Roll Pay is a good company if you are young, if you're an inspiring gym, you're looking to save some money, look and help out the jiu-jitsu community. Look in the Roll Pay, use the promo code OS and get a discount through us. Eric, it was awesome having on you here, brother.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Let's do it
Thank you.
again.
Appreciate it so much.
All right.
Guys, here's why your hormones suck.
If you're listening to this, then chances are you may be one of countless guys who are struggling to see the results they want in the gym, in the mirror, or even in the bedroom. Most guys are focused on testosterone. However, that's only 50% of the answer.
Without adequate growth hormone
And its end result, growth factors, you can't optimally absorb the testosterone you have, no matter if it's synthetic or natural.
that's where BioPro Plus comes in.
BioPro Plus fills in what you're missing out on to help maximize your performance in the gym and even how you look in the mirror without any needles, side effects, or doctor visits, all at a fraction of the cost of synthetic treatments. Over the last few years, BioPro Plus has been taking the medical community by storm as a faster, easier to use, and 100% safe alternative to prescription HGH and peptide treatments. It's become an underground favorite for professional and combat sports athletes and has been featured in Men's Journal, Muscle and Fitness, and even venture capitalist magazines.
Simply put, BioPro Plus is getting real guys, real results, really fast. Check them out and enjoy your new look on life. Oh.
So, let's get into something I want to talk about. I want to talk about what to expect on a holiday roll. When you show up to a gym, they have an open mat on the holidays, what to expect. What I'm going to say to expect if you're showing up on a Labor Day roll, you're going to see some people you've never seen before.
That's what I was going to say. You know, I was here last Memorial Day, not for the 6 a.m. Are they doing another? Are they doing an actual open mat, or was this it?
I don't know. As of now, no. They might do. I don't know. Sometimes they.
Last year it was like I think it was 9 a.m. because I hit here and then I hit 10th Planet on the way home. I was here for like an hour, then there for like 30 minutes, and there was I'll be honest with you, I was shocked to see how many people were here this morning. I didn't realize that the people were coming out in droves like that.
Well, I said I was going to podcast in the show, the episode, dude.
But there was a lot of people here from gyms in like San Diego and stuff that may live up here, date people up here,
Right.
et cetera. So
You're
Yeah.
getting a lot of cross gyms, so your rounds are going to be a lot harder than you think.
because not every gym's going to be hosting an open
Right.
mat.
So they're like, I heard said gym is hosting an open mat.
Let's
You're
go.
going to get gyms that
Yeah.
are closed guys there. So you might get some comp type feel
Right.
or in those open mats. So just going into open mats on holidays, just be a little on your toes that it might be a little bit more balls to the wall than you're used to. It's not going to be so much slap, bump, and roll. You're going to really have to get after it. So, you know what I mean? Also, it's good to bring it's a fun time where you'll see people bring their kids more because their kids aren't in school.
Right.
Just have more kids on the mat. So, you got to be more mindful of what you say, your language or whatnot.
I
yeah.
think an open mat experience like that too, because it's such a community driven experience, can be good for bringing not like like a friend like that's maybe like doesn't quite want to sign up for a trial class, but like, hey, we can just go over here and work in a corner. You can watch a little bit of other people rolling and whatnot. You can see that people are cool. Nobody's judgmental. You know what I mean? There's varying sizes and weights of folks.
We just want you guys, the new guys that have never tried it, we just want you to be the boom mic guy in a porno flick.
Yeah. And just
You know what I
maybe
Just
you take a little bit in the eye.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, now I like it. Now
Oh.
I'm in. Come in for the real thing. You know what I mean? Just stand there, check it out. Put your toes on the mat.
Yeah. Maybe you move up from boom to fluffer.
Yeah. How does that feel? Okay.
Just slide your feet into that.
We're getting off the rails. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, bro?
I'm thinking it's a little early for that.
Oh, is it? It's 35 minutes.
We got more questions now?
Dude, that's it, dude. One
That's it.
question. I
One
can't.
question.
I hit it late last night.
Oh.
Spitball.
Fuck.
What's the first submission you ever got sub with? Do you remember? What's the one moment you remember driving home and you're like, damn, what the fuck was that?
Rolling with my first time with a big guy, because the first gym I was at didn't have big guys. You know what? No, I take that back. My jiu-jitsu unicorn, that's now a black belt, he came from a wrestling background. I invited him. I knew him from the motorcycle community, and I saw him going to like a wrestling thing over here at Temecula Valley. I was like, "Oh, dude, you should come try out jiu-jitsu." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, dude, that sounds fun." And he came, he did a trial class, and he never left after that. And he became obsessed. But he was in phenomenal shape. He was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years younger than me, and comes from a heavy wrestling background. And I think he shot a power double on me and just took the fucking wind out of me when I hit the ground. And I was like, oh. And I was 35 at the time. So he was probably 27 or something like that, 26 maybe. And I just remember thinking like, okay, because I didn't have anybody in the gym that size or speed or like from that background yet. Right. So it was a wake up call. Like, oh shit, like there's athletes here. this is going to be rough.
Jiu-jitsu, like I think we said last week, can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah. And
sometimes a real D1 wrestler is going to be what he wants it to be.
Right.
Not what you want it to be.
You know, I think it's kind of crazy. You can kind of, and I don't think people realize this, when you start jiu-jitsu, you can kind of curate your training, though there is going to be a varying degree of like athleticism and speed and skill and strength. When you're doing these roles, like first of all, when you're doing your situationals, nobody's going 100%. You know what I mean? People are really trying to focus on technique. They're trying to build their game. So they're not powering through everything, typically.
Right.
When it comes to the roles, you don't have to roll with people unless your professor calls you or pairs you with somebody or whatnot. But for the most part, you can kind of pick and choose. So like if there's a guy that's just all power, all gas, no brakes, and just smashing people, you don't have to roll with that guy. And I think that's a double-edged sword. I think that if you fear that guy and you never roll with him, especially as you like progress through the sport and you know you're getting better with skill and whatnot, if you never retest yourself, you're just gonna live in this like fearful mindset, like, fuck, that guy's just always gonna fuck me up. You know what I mean? And then that's doing yourself a disservice. That's the bad side of the sword. The good side of the sword is, like maybe you're just the casual guy. You're not going to compete. You're in your mid to late 40s and you're just doing this for like an exercise thing and it's fun and the camaraderie. You don't have to roll with that guy that's going to smash you because jiu-jitsu isn't your life. You know what I mean? It's a form of exercise and getting your body moving and stuff for you. So being the best in the world isn't necessarily your goal. It's not your game plan. And having to go against that guy might not be a necessity for you. But if you want to be the best in the world, obviously you're going to need to challenge yourself.
You want to be the best in the world. You need a couple of things. You need to have a little bit of genetics. You know what I mean? Especially at the adult level, you're either him or you're not genetically, for the most part. 2, you need to put in extra work, like Eric was saying, that no one's doing. You better be hitting the gym. You better have a strength coach. All these guys have strength and conditioning coaches. All these guys are doing extra work when the gym is not going on. Like when they're not rolling, they're doing extra stuff. So you have to be able to put in that time when everybody else is sleeping. What are you doing? And then private lessons. If you're trying to be a world champion, not at the black belt level, what you're going to do is you're going to create super open mats, usually like you'll know where all the other killers are going. There's like secret meet outs where they're all rolling and trying to kill each other. That's what higher level guys do. But like if you're a lower level and you're trying to become a world champion, you're going to want to get a private lesson.
Mhm.
Little cheat code. If you know a guy that you're having trouble with in masters, like say, I'm always losing to the same guy I compete. I'm always losing. This guy's a lasso guy,
Mhm.
just as a thing. How do I maybe find your private to somebody who's good at lasso
Right.
so he can help you? Or, oh, this guy's always half guard sweeping me. Well, getting a private lesson from Lucas Late might not fucking be a bad idea.
Right.
Like,
I think
because
we're
he could
super
help you with
beneficial that
lasso.
we're in an area where that's a possibility. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like we've talked about, just kind of the pocket that we live in. We're kind of sandwiched in between San Diego, Orange County, and LA, and we're surrounded by absolute world class jiu-jitsu, as well as what's in our own town.
We are also blessed to have phenomenal jiu-jitsu guys and that are good at pretty much everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like sometimes people feel like they're locked into their private lessons with certain guys,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they're like, oh, I've been getting privates with this guy. I don't
Like
want
it's a tattoo artist.
like, I don't want, exactly. I don't want to let it, like, I can't get
is he gonna think I'm cheating on him with another private lesson?
Right, right. It's like, look, I like you for what you gave me here, and I want to come back and work more of that.
Right.
But so-and-so has great takedowns. He's a D1 wrestler. I want to get a private from him real quick.
Something we've talked about in the past, about when people are talking about cross training and stuff like that. I think that privates are a way to sidestep the politics of that. Also, you're getting a more personal lesson at that point.
Right.
I think if you're cross training, I don't know how all jiu-jitsu gyms work, but I do know that the 3 that I've been a part of have all been like on a schedule. Like this week, we're learning this system, So we're going to go through, or it might even be the whole month. We're going to do varying degrees of half for this entire month. So if you're missing days, and there's because these systems are so in depth, there's techniques that you're missing out on, right? So if you're gym hopping, you're going to one gym twice a week and another gym 2 days to 3 days a week or whatever. Like you're essentially, and they're not teaching the same thing. You're kind of like mixing it up for yourself, but like you're not getting the full spread of what you could be learning if you just attended the one school or whatnot. That's, I guess one way I'm thinking of it right now. But I think a private, because it is so specialized, it's like, because the instructor that you're going to have a private with, they're going to ask you what you want to work on. You know what I mean? You're not just going to show up randomly and be like, this is what you're going to learn today.
Right.
So, you can really hone in on the people. It's just like, oh, this is a half guy and I really want to work on half. I'm going to go to him specifically versus having a guy that's maybe a lasso specialist teaching you half that he's like, yeah, I know it, but it's not my thing. You know what I mean?
Like, look at, as a guy I'm kind of a specialist,
right,
with my stuff that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm not as diverse of a jiu-jitsu guy as I would like to be, or I'm trying to become. And it takes a lot for a black belt to say that, but that's just the truth. Like I have half guard, but it ain't a great half guard. I have, there's some stuff I can't do. So if one of my guys is like, hey, this opponent I'm going against is really good at half, I think I'm going to get some privates with Jason.
Right.
Because he's a very, very good half guard player. And I want to be able to like see what he's thinking so I know how to stop it. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting tattooed from somebody else either.
No.
But that is a thing.
It's totally a thing.
That's totally a thing.
It's totally a thing too. The funny thing to me is, obviously I have a couple of tattoos.
A little bit.
Is when people, like when they'll be like, oh, like they'll have to like ask an artist, like, okay, I have a rib piece that I have one session done on, and the guy that did it, phenomenal artist, he disappeared. He worked at my buddy's shop. They got into some beef. He went away. I have this unfinished work on my rib cage. Finding a tattoo artist, one that does that type of work, and 2 is willing to work on somebody else's work, is a fucking pain in the ass.
You said that guy at Masters was a tattoo guy, right?
Yeah.
What? How come he has not tattooed you yet?
Because he's in Arizona.
How come he hasn't been on the podcast?
Dude, if he's ever out in San Diego area and wants to
What's
roll
his name?
through,
We're gonna clip it right now. What's his name?
Grizz at Grizz.
At Grizz.
He-
Master.
Yeah,
champion.
he runs. I think he owns a shop in Arizona called Reaper Madness Tattoo.
And Kenny wants a tattoo. And I wouldn't be opposed to one either. And we would like to have you on the show. And we like to train
Are
jiu-jitsu.
we gonna get matching BJJ Balance tattoos?
Ooh, I feel like I need to get OS before I get a BJJ Balance tattoo.
Right. It doesn't have to be our logo. It could just be a BJJ Balance theme.
Just don't forget that second J. I've said that before. BJ Balance is not what's not hit is the same.
No, that's a Hillcrest tattoo.
That does not hit the same. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, buddy?
Aim
It's
for the
time.
bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. My name is Matt at OS Nation. This is Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow us on Instagram at BJJ Balance. Follow me on Instagram at OS Nation BJJ. Follow Kenny on all socials. He'll post something on TikTok someday. I'll post something on TikTok this week. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh,